People who are resigning a well-paid job and starting a business.
The difference between wealth and status. I want to be a manager, I want to be a founder, I want to be a CEO. This is a default setting. I lost the motivation to work. This was in 2017. During those days, I went through this whole midlife crisis. I think software engineers go through midlife crisis in 35, 36. The biggest problem at workplace is that everyone is little bit jealous of everyone else's growth. If I don't solve this problem, I will forever regret. I win, you lose. Zero-sum game. So zero maintenance teams enable people to prevent issues, innovate by being collectively curious.
Do you feel psychologically safe in running your company?
No, I don't.
A software engineer getting good salary in a decent company. I don't know exactly what it is. What made you to resign your job? Like what is the call? Because everybody, people who are resigning a well-paid job and starting a business. So you asked me what made you to resign your job and start a snack experts. So I identified a gap which I was telling to you. I felt this is the time to start. What made you to resign? Because opportunity cost, I even asked you during the discussion we had earlier, okay, Nara. So the opportunity cost is very high here.
Yes.
Okay. So what kind of thought process that has gone to your mind? Because it takes at least 3 to 4 years. If everything goes well, it takes at least 3 to 4 years to realize the opportunity cost. At least to meet the opportunity cost. Break even is different. Making higher than that is different. To realize it itself, you need at least 3 years.
Yes.
So taking 3 years to see whether it is going to fail or succeed is where the decision hypothesis.
Yes.
So what hypothesis you made that resulted in your resignation?
What moved me into doing it is Naval's How to Get Rich podcast. I've been listening it since 2019 sometimes. It talks about the difference between wealth and status. Many of us, the easiest, least resistance path from our childhood, everything is status. I want to be a manager, I want to be a founder, I want to be a CEO, I want to have more people reporting to me. This is a default setting for most people. I also fall into the same category. But then this conversation by Naval very clearly lays out what stands for a long time. What's the longest journey? And he also talks very seriously about curiosity. How curiosity can make us do work that doesn't look like work. So I was a software engineer for a long time, but my first 8 years of my software engineering career, I never had curiosity. I always used to think that I had loans to pay. So all this work I was doing because there was a lot of fire in the fire behind. But the reality always catches up. So I went through a difficult a time where I started questioning, like when my loans were sort of sorted out, when my financial responsibilities and stuff were sorted out, I lost the motivation to work. This was in 2017. During those days, I went through this whole midlife crisis. I think software engineers go through midlife crisis in 35, 36. Rest of them goes through 45, 50. We are accelerating in our growth, so this also accelerates. At this point in time, I found one reason why I was struggling with full involvement in work. The reason was I did not have curiosity at work. I was doing it because I've been doing it for a long time. I was looking like that ant. What you said. In software engineering, if you can organically grow big, you can influence really big when you have a temple builder mindset. One is if you have the strong, what do you call it, that political power to navigate people and stuff, that is one way of growth. If you are too techy, I was very, very curious about tech. Not curious, but I was very obsessed about learning different tech, working across tech, jumping between this and that. I worked in close to 8, 9 languages, probably 7 frameworks my entire career. But what I felt is that I was doing all of this out of fear, that I don't want to be outdated, which is a valid fear for us to do it. But I realized that learning by curiosity, there are few other colleagues I have noticed. One of them is Shiva Sundar, is my first time colleague. I've read someone called Tamil Vendan, whose blogs I've read. This guy writes really amazing stuff. He focuses on curiosity and stuff. There are several engineers, like the founders of Stack Overflow. I enjoy reading their stuff, but I realized that I was not having that skill. That's when in 2017 I decided to learn from something called as first principles learning. First principles learning is, as you said, you divide the problem deep, all this. So I went down the whole rabbit hole trying to understand the core of how to solve problems. At my probably 31 years of age, I was trying to, 31, 32, I was trying to understand this is how problems should be solved. But until then, I was in my job, but I was still valued without having a solid understanding of problem solving. So this, when I was refiguring out all of these things from ground as a 10 years experienced guy, and then I was able to understand and build everything by doing, which is what you talked, when you talked about doing, this connected to me, because until then I was mindlessly solving problems, brute force. Now I started systematically building things, but it was very hard journey, quite a hard journey in the first few years, because when you are an adult, when you know that you are incompetent in certain things, only which you know, it puts you in a very tight spot. But I figure out how to learn from first principles thinking. It became very inherent to me. Now, in 2021, when I worked in one of the corporates, I was introduced to a term called psychological safety. In a parallel track, I was also, I'm very curious about how company makes money. 2012 onwards, 2011, I think right when I got access to Google or Mozilla, the first thing I'll do is, if I know a company, how do they make money? I kept studying this again and again. And then in 2012, 13, I went to Bangalore. I saw companies getting funded left and right, but then most of them getting dusted. The whole, that cycle was there. I was reading the Ken. I used to write. This was like a mental masturbation. You read and then you feel like you know
imagination.
You have whatever you said. You have learned it by reading it. And I had a lot of questions. Why do companies fail? Why this stock increases? This doesn't increase. The whole valuation thing, I did not know it as valuation, but I was very obsessed about that problem. I read several places. I used to talk to people. I used to talk to auto drivers, cab drivers. How does this? How do you make money? Then that's when I obsessed about the quality of the product. So if you have the quality of product, I was very obsessed about Toyota cars. Toyota, why Toyota cars? The cab drivers used to say like Toyota is very, very good, very good. Then I tried reading about Kaizen, their own handle card system, all these things. So I started working, thinking everything from outcome. So if you give good outcome, customer experience, if you give good, you build trust. You work backward from it. Now, all these things put together in 2021, when I went to this corporate where they spoke about psychological safety, and I had a manager who implemented this in my team. So it was probably 12-member team. This team is where unintentionally or intentionally, he introduced some of these concepts and he put them into practice. When he put them into practice, it made my job and every other's job very easy, because the biggest problem at workplace is that everyone is a little bit jealous of everyone else's growth. Okay. None of them will appreciate others. School, college, no places we are appreciated. Even as a kid, because we are a very emerging, developing country, we don't, we are not appreciated for even the smallest things that are big for our age. So there is so much of the toxicity comes because each of us who enter the workplace are insecure in our nature. And especially in a work like software, where the outcome of what these individuals can do is unlimited. There is no capital.
Scalability.
A 5-member team can create 1 crore worth of 1 crore revenue. A 10-member team can create 5 billion value, or like WhatsApp did. Instagram did the same thing. So what mind can do is something that is prevented by this whole toxicity. There are several projects where 6 months it runs and then it is of no use. People kick it out. They burn close to 10 to 15 crores in salaries. All it required is one question by one person in the team. How does it relate to the customer's experience? These all of these questions had answer in that one thing called psychological safety. That team, we iterated like hell. That team, I was there for around 1.5 years or 2 years. And we were delivering outcome predictably. If we know this will fail, this will fail. We were able to, as you said, the customer communication, right? For us, it's a close to 1,000 retail stores across the world. We know this feature will not work even during the planning stage of the discussion. The recommends discussion was a roasting session. Our idea, our implementation will be roasted by the rest of the team. And not many of us, at least to my knowledge, felt offended because there was an appreciation going on in the background. The trust building was always there. So I found that this was a magic thing. I have never ever experienced this in any of my workplace. Despite people's intentional goodness. I have worked with managers, amazing managers, amazing individuals, architects. But there was no systematic way I have seen where outcome is predictable, output is multiplied. Because the moment you feel connected to a workplace, you don't care about is it my work or your work. We take responsibility and pass on the work baton to someone else. Hey, can you do this? This is what my team wants. In that whole company, that this was one of the teams that were delivering amazing outcome. I found this as a magic. I try to apply this for building a learning company. My intention is to start a company like there are several edutechs who scaled big and then did not produce a result that they promised. I saw all of them as a learning problem. Learning cannot be scaled through text is what my strong belief is. Learning happens, as you said, through doing. I think that was an amazing framework. Learn, read, watch versus do is totally different. Now, when you put it, I am able to. So I was in a doing. I believe that doing is how you learn. So I intended to start a business where individuals can come using psychological safety and few other frameworks. I wanted to build a work environment where people can iterate, can make mistakes. Unlike real world products and services where mistakes are costly, developing software is just a computer is what is necessary. If you iterate, you become really good with it. So all these things put together, and I also know that I was 38 and it is a right time for me to make that risk. If I don't solve this problem, I will forever regret. So I decided to do it.
Okay.
And fortunately, the founder of MyDBOps, Karthik PR, he was kind enough to offer me an opportunity where the same framework can be used in organization to accelerate learning and enhance communication. They are helping a lot of e-commerce and quick commerce companies and a lot of other companies where they manage the they manage the database of their the other business and products. Now he felt that communication is top notch for their business because even a small mistake can cause huge disruption in the for the customers. So he understood the value of it, and he asked me to solve this problem in help me accelerate that communication for his team. So that's how I became a consultant, accidental consultant.
Okay. I understood. The whole part is what I summarize in my thought process is like money is not a only reason to be there. So wealth and status can be a different thing from the Naval Ravikant thing and other stuff and all there. So you felt that okay, beyond money there are certain things I need to do. If I left it now, if I am not doing it now, I will regret at any point of time. So you want it.
Yeah.
Okay. Second part is about writing. Okay. One, I read your book, Silent Nods and Lost Dollars. and about psychological safety and other stuff in software environment, hardware environment, manufacturing environment, everything. From your consulting perspective, whether I am a strong believer psychological safety is an unconscious process. If you start doing it consciously, you end up making more and more mistakes, is what I believe in. Okay. So from the conscious way of implementing psychological safety in your company to becoming a unconscious way of practicing it in your company. So you would have seen we would have practiced it knowingly or unknowingly, but you would have consciously noticed it in different companies how it has been practiced unconsciously.
Yes.
Wherever you go, you have seen multiple companies, you wrote a book on it. Some companies where they try to practice psychological safety in a conscious way, they end up failing.
Yes.
Okay. Some companies, without even announcing that they are practicing psychological safety, they would be doing wonders. Okay. So, psychological safety in a conscious way in a company, psychological safety in an unconscious way. So, how do you as a consulting business, very specific in a particular domain of psychological safety, culture building, people motivation, team building, those kind of things are not a measurable outcomes.
Yes.
Not a measurable thing, but it compounds.
Yes.
Whether if it is good, it compounds. Whether it is bad, it also compounds.
Yes.
Okay. So how do you see from a consulting perspective or psychological safety book other perspective or employee perspective, because you are not been a founder of a company.
Yes.
You've been an employee, you've been an author, you've been a consultant. How do you pitch this to founders?
Okay. See, there is this thing about mental health, right? You go and talk to a psychiatrist or psychologist, and the very people who needs help, they won't go and seek help. This is what happens to companies as well. It is often the reflection of the founders. A founder who thinks people have their own trade-offs, people are not inherently evil. My employees are not inherently evil. They will believe they will intentionally or unintentionally set some signals where trust can be developed. Okay. So what they will do is they will try to communicate better. They will try to be nice, and stuff. Or leaders, individual leaders. I have worked with several leaders who have been individually nice. This is one aspect. There are several, even the managers who people consider as toxic, right? They are not intentionally being bad. Their habitual patterns and their what has helped them accelerate in their career is the behavior that people consider as toxic. They are not inherently toxic. Their environment has tuned them in such behaviors to survive. So, from a diagnostic point of view, the root cause is not at all blame. One. So, this is one aspect. This is the core. The other core is individuals in our society, all of us, anywhere else, many of us come from very difficult backgrounds. A lot of people come from poverty backgrounds. A lot of people come from, even if you're wealthy, you don't have great support systems through your parents because your parents are not, don't have that world exposure. So we tend to, most of our world operates in a zero sum belief system. Like you win, I lose. I win, you lose. This happens in school, college, everywhere else. When these people enter the workplace for a founder is the growth of the pie can increase from the founder's perspective because he knows that more people work good, company rises. But from individual's point of view, it is fight between each other. You grow, you become manager, then I am no longer a manager. So it becomes a zero-sum game. This is another layer.
Okay.
Now, most companies don't intentionally work on psychological safety. There is total blackout. Even if it is there, it is from a HR's point of view. And they are doing a great job in introducing it, facilitating sessions. But one challenge with that approach through sessions and general sessions is that when I did my
Mm.
consulting firm IDBFs, the first few sessions did not work
Mm.
because of what you said.
Mm.
Learning, consuming,
Mm.
and doing are different things.
Mm. Mm.
You consume some information, you are processing it. The one who has the most affinity towards that information
Mm.
processes it, goes and reflects it.
Mm.
For rest of them, it is just a story or an entertainment, or
Mm.
they'll sleep.
Mm. Mm.
So psychological safety, when you said if it is intentionally introduced,
Mm.
it doesn't have a direct impact because it goes through sessions.
Mm.
Now what you said, right? Intentionally building it.
Mm.
This is what is intentionally building it, but then this doesn't stick.
Mm.
Which is why I have zero maintenance
Mm.
teams.
Mm.
Zero maintenance teams is not an individual kindness activity. A
Mm.
manager choosing to be kind with this report is,
Mm.
or a founder being kind with this new employees and stuff. It is a systematic way where
Mm.
we have small systematic changes in the way people communicate.
Mm.
It is across all levels.
Mm.
It is introduced gradually.
Mm.
It is based on two things:
Mm.
appreciation and writing.
Mm.
Writing, you said,
Mm.
writing synthesizes our thoughts, refines it.
Mm.
Appreciation is how we introduce change.
Mm.
Every time we go through a change
Mm.
in our life,
Mm.
we are put into a new we need a new skill.
Mm.
For example, I'm right now, as I started my business,
Mm.
I suck at marketing,
Mm.
at negotiation.
Mm.
So there is
Mm.
learning. There are 4 stages:
Mm.
the unconscious
Mm.
incompetence,
Mm.
where you are not even aware that the skill is necessary.
Mm.
Then you are in a conscious incompetence. Then you are in conscious competence.
Mm.
Then finally reach unconscious competence.
Mm.
Everyone has to go through the unconscious competence.
Mm.
Now, when you every day, especially software engineers, they are the tools keeps changing.
Mm.
The frameworks keeps changing.
Mm.
The language keeps changing.
Mm.
AI is coming every day. If you see Twitter, some new stuff keeps coming. So the every day they are let aware through LinkedIn, Twitter, other social media, at office, that you are consciously incompetent every day. Something you don't know. The business changes. The requirement changes. You deploy feature, and suddenly a bug comes where some assumption breaks. All of this puts engineers at so much of stress. Even though there is stress for every other profession, software engineers' stress is directly proportional to the salary they get paid. And there is a clear thing that the job is no job is permanent, and especially software engineer's job is not at all permanent. Technology changes, aging, everything will put you out of risk, unless and otherwise you are at the top of your skill, which often happens through curiosity. So what this whole zero maintenance teams framework does is systematically introduce new changes in such a way that they don't stay in unconscious incompetent state. Even if they are there, every small progress to the conscious competence, it doesn't happen overnight. It happens through a spiral. I have given the spiral in the book because of this whole journey. This journey can be made easy with appreciation. First day, an engineer will never write an appreciation mail for others. But even if they say thank you, that is much better than the previous day. So if you want to eradicate toxic culture, you introduce small changes systematically, so that everyone feels collective ownership. They become collectively curious. So zero maintenance teams enable people to prevent issues, innovate by being collectively curious. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, to some extent, because the whole process of building a team, okay, I believe from the unconscious incompetence to conscious incompetence to conscious competence, and then to unconscious competence, whatever you said, is what somewhere from the learning, unlearning, and then relearning, and then practicing. So
Yes.
it goes this way. I from your book, both Zero Maintenance Team or Silent Knots and Lost Orders, one thing I my third question is about the things you said. You are the first time founder into business for 1 year now, by one and a half years now. You would have had fair amount of ups, downs, failures, closed death things and other thing. How do you see in a safety perspective, either psychological safety perspective, how does the founder's journey, okay, one is psychological safety in your company, psychological safety to your team, third thing is psychological safety to you
yourself.
okay, because you are like 1-2 member team now, or I am not sure like how many people are there in your team. How do you build psychological safety to you as a founder?
Great question.
In early stages, like 1 year, 2 year, based on your experience, like when do you feel safe?
Okay, it's a very very tricky question. Reason is I have to be vulnerable to answer this. I think vulnerability is what my entire business is, but it's hard to be vulnerable.
Because you can't express whether vulnerable or not vulnerable is completely different, but expressing it.
Yeah.
So do you ever felt like safety to you?
What I learned, this book has got something, a framework, 4 quadrants. Curious builder, anxious learner, pushover, not really pushover, task doer, we can say, and then intimidators. All of us jump between these states based on our personal context, situation at different point in life. In my career, I was an anxious learner. The first part I was quite, the first 8 years of my career I was quite intimidated.
Let the career part.
There is a relationship between that and this. When I quit my job to do this, I started out, I was still an anxious learner. I was not a curious builder. Most successful software, most successful business people are curious builders. They don't take things personally. They don't take failures personally. They have enough bandwidth or support system to make sure that they remain curious, or they have so much of spiritual strength to do that. For me, I was not a curious builder. I realized it only 3-4 months into my business. I wanted to be a curious builder, but I am not a curious builder. So first 3 months, my first 2 months, the program that I did, when it did not work out, I felt really broken. The sessions did not work out, and when I got the feedback from the founder, I felt personally like very hard. But then that's what reality is, right?
The then conscious incompetence stage. You know that it is not coming to me.
Yeah, okay. I know that this certain things worked in my team wherever I worked, but it is not working here. That is when I have to relearn the context. The context was that in the teams that I worked where it was implemented, the trust was already built and taken care by someone else. And as a consultant, so because of which back then sessions worked, but here sessions did not work because the trust building with the consultant is one-on-one. And Vinod, who is a co-founder, he recommended me to go into one-on-one, and the program started working. And so that stage was very hard because I am put into incompetent state, and I am going through my own framework. So I would say it is quite a shaky here and there. But the best part is I learned that every day I'm going to be failing in some way, because anywhere humans are involved, even I am the key moving factor. So I'm going to always have learnings. I'm going to have, every time I have disappointment. Yesterday, for example, I went through a reflection, and I had as I reflected, I felt I made a terrible mistake. I could not put my mind into like, what do I do? And then today, when you told about the doer learner thing, something struck me, and then realized that, okay, the whole experience, the bad experience was a blessing, because now I was able to internalize that particular incident. So
the same thing, learning by doing. The same, almost still I feel like it is not the
did that answer your question?
Yeah, the reason being, I want to just reframe it. Okay. Do you feel psychologically safe in running your company?
No, I don't.
So that is the thing. The realization is, because even in writing blogs, okay, when I write the journey about first 1,000 days of building a company, uh, most of the founders are unsure about the direction they are heading in.
Yeah.
Okay, whether doing this kind of blogs will help, vlogs will help, podcast will help. Nobody knows whether it is going to work or not. Thing. So I just wanted to understand who's again expert in psychological safety. Okay, running your first 3-4 years of company will put you completely in a psychological unsafe
Unsafe.
environment. Okay, where the family, peers, opportunity cost, not being your friends again getting promoted, a good thing and bad thing, and the fear of day-to-day rejections, everything will comes to you. So it is not about clients, it is not about your team, it is about you.
Yes.
Okay, so as a founder, from your learnings of first 400-500 days, uh, how a founder can feel himself, whether paying customer definitely gives you confidence. Even when there is no paying customer, how do you feel safe about running your business?
How do you feel? I think
Confident, safe.
Okay. I think one thing is that having a reliable set of people with whom you can openly share your
loneliness again.
yeah.
So
See,
everything adds to psychological safety.
yes.
So you feel insecure, you feel lonely, you feel financially like critical
You make
levels.
some mistakes
Uh,
which you cannot recover.
yeah, you make big mistakes. You think that what you made is a big mistake. Still, you want to pursue. How do you? So the moment of doubt.
Okay. I would amazing question, because I am doing this because for me learning, I have a strong conviction that individual learning and institutional learning can be accelerated without tech. Despite every Trello board or Jira board, you can get half-baked data. The companies run something called as burn down chart. Burn down chart is useless if people don't actually put the data. You can have all the documentation, but if people don't have the safety to write what runs in their mind, you will never ever get the reality. We are always going to waste time. So I have a strong conviction that learning can be accelerated with zero maintenance teams, individual and institutional. I have a community called Zero Maintenance Engineers, where it's not greatly active, but still there are few people with high agency who comes, learns, builds stuff, get recruited, and stuff. So my hypothesis on that has been consistently validated through my consulting work, through my personal, some of the founders I help with how to set up the culture in the early days when they have 5-member, 10-member team. I help them. These two systems are critical for you to scale it. And when they say this worked for us.
My question is something same. Okay. How do you feel? How do you set psychological safety in your company when you are a one-member team?
Okay, I think
it is 5-member, 10-member. Yes, still it is a team practice.
Yes.
Okay. The reason why I ask or I insist on this question is I feel okay. Even this one part of the segment, when you start a business, there are in 1,000 days there are close to 1,000. There is a chance that 80% businesses are going to shut down within 1,000 days. Okay. It is okay to shut down. It is okay to fail. But what is the safety net it breaks? So the ability to take next risk, the inability to take next risk, the inability to get into the new environment, job environment. I am closing my business and joining in a job. Yes, companies are willing to welcome the failed entrepreneurs, but whether the founder is willing to accept.
Yes, it takes a massive beat on your ego. It is a very hard call. But then I think there is every time you start a work, you know that there are exit points. I mean, you don't, I mean, you assume there are some exit points. And one of the exit points that I have set is I have my own timeline for this. I have my own exit criteria at what point in time I should be exiting this. And before exiting this, what are the other probable things that I should be doing? Basically, seeking help, how to seek help, all this thing happen. And all of them break when you are down.
Yes,
all of them break
all the metrics goes
so,
down.
So the thing is, there is an exit plan. This is the point at which this will not work, or I cannot continue. That is there. Well, it is very disturbing to think of that possibility. But again, reality never cares about us.
Yeah, that is what the whole idea is. Like I think in past 10 years, I have seen many founders. Even I have helped many founders to shut the company.
Okay.
The reason being is even maybe I'm not sure about how the ecosystem works now, because I'm been like somewhat focusing on things earlier. Whenever I just wanted to tell them, your exit path is much easier than the struggling journey. Okay, so somewhere you need to quit and move on. So whether it is unconsciously or consciously, you need someone. I feel since you wrote the book, you can be the right person to discuss about quitting the founder journey and moving on to the next stage. I strongly believe that you need to, because there is you are doing multiple things. You created a group for freshers to support and other stuff, and I'm using this as a medium to express that. Maybe you can create somewhere where the failed founders,
Okay,
or if you are struggling in your business, come, let us have a discussion. Okay, maybe from the unconscious incompetence, even they don't know they are failing. That is a different stage. But when they are conscious that they are failing, that is a stage where some kind of safety, psychological safety kind of thing.
There is a tricky thing here. The moment you say you are struggling, the whole equation changes. The thing is, because one thing I learned is that vulnerability is only for your employees, not for founders. Because the moment you are vulnerable, it is human nature to. It is very few people, kind people, can consider that. Oh, is there a way I can help this person and stuff?
It is not helping. Okay, just
most when the moment it becomes like a community. I mean, maybe it might become a community. But what I learned, some of the founders that I used to talk in private and stuff, all of them have the same challenges. All of them in the same journey, but it's a traffic problem. No one wants to
come first. That
Because
I know that I'm going to fail.
Yeah, the moment you are but the reality is that despite I talking about it, I don't talk about my own challenges. Because the moment you talk, it is a very hard journey. It's a A/B test. But it's a hypothesis. But the moment you put this hypothesis out in public,
you become very weak. That
yeah,
it happens. Okay, I felt this is my kind of request, maybe, where people.
Probably, I think I'll put out a WhatsApp group at the videos.
Do let me know if you are failing.
Yeah, if you are ever feeling incompetent and then not getting enough money, we can. I'll have a WhatsApp.
Let's discuss. Okay, it is more of a way of since you are into zero maintenance teams, where you can build zero maintenance founders. Okay, zero maintenance founder is where it is not like very artificial confidence. Okay,
the realistic confidence.
The realistic thing is, yes, it is not working. There is a way out. Exiting it faster, quitting and other stuff, because that is where the real psychological safety to the team, to the environment is important as you grow good. As you grow bad, like when you are doing a negative growth, psychological safety is more important to you first.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So that way, with this, like
This
from
is
my way of seeing
amazing,
it,
amazing idea, because there is so much of there is a need for it, because it's related to mental health.
maybe hypothesis. Yes, you need to test it whether how
I
many
think
people.
I am the right person to test it. Okay.
That's
Arul,
absolutely
I think we are
done.
we are done.
Mm.
I might. Okay, I'll provide the. I think I provided the intro. I'll provide another intro.
Okay.
See if it is relevant. Welcome Arul Murugan to the Q. The okay. I'll go again.
Okay. இங்க உங்களை பார்த்து. Okay.
Welcome Arul Murugan, founder of Snack Experts and Eden Nutrition. This is Path to Curious Builders podcast. The podcast is about how to become a curious builder. I bring in people who have walked the path, become a curious builder, and then open their journey for the audience and myself especially to understand their whole journey, the whole spirals. And I believe this is going to be a very knowledgeable session, especially because you have built a offline brand at scale, and you also understand the leverage. I've had a lot of discussions with you on the leverage part of offline versus online business, and about the whole learning thing. You are one of the first founders who read Silent Arts Last Dollars and then shared me detailed insights. Welcome to the conversation.
Thank you. Happy to again one more time, one more chance to discuss many things that that I had with you. Okay, I'm looking forward because we all believe that we all may tell that our team is productive, super efficient and everything, but unconsciously there may be so many areas where I read your book, I realized, okay, whether consciously or unconsciously, what mistakes I have made personally in building the teams. Some mistakes you would have made consciously, some mistakes unconsciously. Only after reading the book I realized I made this mistake, and I realized that this is a mistake.
This is a mistake. Okay.
Okay. There are multiple things, multiple scenarios, because most of the time when you build teams, when you have a second person to discuss something, there is always a friction environment. Okay. You end up negotiating, you end up counter negotiating, you end up being vulnerable, you end up being psychologically insecure. So many things are there. Happy to discuss whatever that I have gone through. Hope it helps people who are listening, understanding, and multiple things. Look forward. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much.